lagi. Ini hidupku, jadi diriku, jadi diriku. Ini hidupku, matiin aja. Jadi diriku, jadi diriku. Ku kredit karena menggrab salah. Jadi diriku.
There are the two skippers. Badro Bakhtiar taking the armband today from Aidil. For Indonesia, they make just the one change to the side that had that valiant point against Vietnam, the goalless draw in that one. And in comes Ramai Rumakek, the youngster drafted in for this absolutely massive game. And clearly it would appear that Shin Tae-yong is fairly happy with what he sees. He's gone for a pretty attacking formation here, a 4-4-2. And the man who misses out is Rizky Ramadani. But they are going with a 4-4-2 today. Irianto, who normally sits in front of the back four, is moving into the middle of the park today with Ricky Kambuaya. And yes, there you go, Rizky Ridho Ramadani, who was actually one of the most impressive players in that match against Vietnam. He has to settle for a place on the bench. There's also there on the bench Elkan Baggett, who was in quarantine, wasn't he, until yesterday for a COVID-19 incident on his plane, but he would be available later on in this competition. There is still no sign of Egy Maulana, who there were varying reports about whether he would be available for this one. Some mind games playing by Shin Tae-yong earlier in the picture. Chan Cheng-ho said, let's not get the media into our heads. Let's focus on the game instead. How do you see this one playing out, Rushan? Because Malaysia have to go for it from the off.
Yeah, they do. They certainly do. This Malaysian side, they have to go for it, but at the same time, it's not going to be a situation where you want to take too many risks too early on and open yourselves up to opportunities to lose out on the counter-attack and give Indonesia those opportunities in those counter-attacking situations, because there's plenty of pace in this side. You look at Irfan Jaya and Rumakek in those wider positions. They have got pace to burn. Witan Sulaiman is playing in just behind Ezra Walian in these phases out of possession. So it's almost like they set up in this 4-2-3-1 off the ball, and perhaps when they are in possession, it'll be a 4-4-2 somewhat, with Witan Sulaiman given that license just to drop off in spaces in behind this Malaysian midfield. It's going to be so important for Badro, who's shielding that defense, the number 8, the veteran in there, to make sure he's keeping track of the spaces that Witan Sulaiman is looking to go and try and push himself into, because he could be a player that causes lots and lots of issues for this Malaysian side if he's given space to turn in behind that Malaysian midfield.
How impressed were you with the discipline shown by Indonesia? As we come back to that in a minute, here's Ezra Walian. Because they changed things up, didn't they? And they largely kept Vietnam quiet.
Yeah, and that was really good to see. You know, I think they understood what they were up against. So there's a humility there. There was respect for what Vietnam are capable of. But, you know, there wasn't any fear from Indonesia. They knew that, you know, we're not perhaps at that level yet as the cross comes in. Bit of a shaky moment early on for Junior Elsdal.
Yeah, he's just back in the lineup. Remember, he started the very first game against Cambodia, hobbled off, and has been restored to the starting lineup today. That comes flashing across the goal. And this man, remember, he was injured in this first game. And he was replaced by Edo Febriansha, but he's come back in. And it's been excellent.
Yeah, wonderful driving run. The 19-year-old. They've got two young players on that left-hand side. Incredible talent coming through this Indonesian squad. It's close, isn't he?
Not far away. Great start to this game. Listen to that noise. Absolutely fantastic. And Russian over the years, Malaysia, Indonesia, always gets the pulses racing, doesn't it?
Wonderful rivalry these two sides have, and the stakes are high. Just adds to the occasion. And what I love about Malaysian and Indonesian have come out, and even the Vietnamese fans who have come out in support, of their sides as they've made themselves heard. You know, they've created a wonderful atmosphere. It's not like they just come in to sit down and watch a game of football. They've come in to participate and be a part of the football match. So it's been incredible, and I really, really salute the fans that have come out to support their sides.
Yeah, they're here to be part of the spectacle, aren't they? That's the great thing. As they come forward here with Irfan, Indonesia out wide to Ezra Walian. They'll get a corner. Shami Safari.
Yeah, I think just very quickly, go back to the display that they put up against Vietnam. It was more of a defensive side to Indonesia. We're used to seeing them, as you see Ezra Walian breaking free down his right-hand side. That cross coming off Shami Safari. We were used to seeing Indonesia in the first two matches in this competition be very aggressive, very attacking, very direct, look to try and get the ball forward quickly. But against Vietnam, we saw a different side to them. Defensively aggressive, sitting deep, being compact, and fighting all the way towards that point. Good flexibility that a team has shown, and discipline in that game.
Yeah, I think that was something that really endeared them to a lot of fans. Doesn't kind of find his safe hands. He's been very good in those sort of situations. Well, I've said that. He completely fumbled it. Here.
Yeah, what's happened there? I mean, I took my eye off the ball because I was looking upfield. Well, he catches it there and then just lets it slip.
Also, just as well, he was not in front of the goal.
That's right. Fortunately for him. On nerves in this Malaysian defence. And the thing is, coming into this game, everyone was saying Malaysia the more experienced side and should have that experience, but doesn't seem to be the case very early on anyway.
Will they profit from this? Alfiandra Dewanga. That's that well over. Now remember, of course, Indonesia are handicapped coming into this tournament. They're only allowed to pick 2 players from any one club in their league because it is ongoing at the moment. This is something that they experienced in 2016, by the way, in which they went all the way to the final, despite that so-called handicap. They have been pretty good value up till now. Here is Junior Elstal, restored to the back line. Of course, he was playing defensive midfielder in the first game. Koglis Raj, his first start in this tournament. Now Shafiq, out wide to Arif. Arif's done well. Twisting in and out, Asnawi.
Star of Malaysian football, isn't he? Arif he has, and how dangerous he can be, run and turn. As now he inside.
It looks like.
A couple of errors early on.
Game, the intensity in his first 8 minutes. Brilliant. Should Elstar with an important challenge there for Malaysia. You cannot take your eyes off this at the moment. Arif Ahmed, he's got pace to burn. Devanga comes across after Devanga, who was superb, man of the match in that game against Vietnam.
This is absolutely living up to the pre-game hype. The intensity is incredible, challenges flying in. Nobody wanting to lose possession of the ball, even if they don't have it. Want to get it back straight away. You saw Junior Elstal come in with a couple of crunching challenges.
This is what the AFF Suzuki Cup's all about. It really is. Safari now. Koglis Raj. Little triangles here. We can tell you there is already a goal in the other game. Vietnam have made it 1-0. Win Tien Lin. And this is how it looks. So, Indonesia, no. They need to get... Well, actually, as it stands right now, there's room to be absolutely safe, of course. They know that Malaysians will come at them. There's an early breakthrough for the Vietnamese. Remember, they were a few goals tonight, just in case. There's the man who has just joined the side tonight, Faisal Halim, who was out with COVID, and Tan Cheng Ho, the Malaysian coach, had said having him will just add more bite in that midfield and attack. He's got Akia on the bench as well. Later on, should he need another one, he was very happy to have back. 2 Indonesians are down. Ricky Kambuaya is 1. Kogas Warren is also down at the moment. And is there going to be a problem? Rahmat Arianto is another one.
Second ball again, it's physicality. Ricky Kambuaya going into a challenge with Kogaleswaran. I think it's one of those both players have got to go for that. It's a 50-50 challenge.
Well, we know that that game last night, Roshan, was kind of marred a bit, wasn't it? 2 fairly significant injuries in the first 10-15 minutes. Kind of took the sting out of things, didn't it?
Be much of a disruption here.
Badru Bakhtiar with this free kick for Malaysia. Alfreda Devanga got the final touch on that. Corner for Malaysia. Dion Cools come in from Midtjylland in the Danish league. I tell you what, he's played Champions League football, Russia. In terms of, there are more and more players now, of course, applying their trade overseas. That has to be right up there, hasn't he?
Yep.
Quality.
Incredible quality and experience as well. A big boost to Malaysia, especially in those defensive positions. And the expectation here with Shahrul Saad and Aidil Zafwan picking up injuries in that game against Vietnam was always a...
Managed to get that clear. Now this is where they can be very dangerous. That pass a little too heavy. He's still... Irfan, another very quick player. Witan Sulaiman, was he brought down there? By Dion Cools. Shin Tae-yong is having a real go at the fourth official.
Yeah, you can see exactly what he's complaining about. He's saying there was a tug. There was a tug there from Dion Cools on Witan Sulaiman. The game is so open at the moment, and it's incredible. I mean, listen, I think there was some doubt about whether Indonesia would come out and really attack this Malaysian side. We're seeing that they are. You know, it's not a case of them just sitting back.
You know what, Shin Tae-yong addressed that, didn't he? As that force of Kogasman Raj. Oh, he's got the shot in! What a goal that is! Kogasman Raj has opened the scoring for Malaysia out of the blue.
That's a superb finish from Kogaleswaran. What a start for Malaysia here. A quick throw and an intelligent run in behind from Shafiq Ahmad that really starts it off. It's a poor clearance, you could say. And perhaps if you want to be hypercritical here, you could say it is slow to close down that shot from range, Rahmat Irianto. But that is pure quality. Wonderful camera angle on that replay. Kogaleswaran, take a bow. What a finish.
Well, he had a superb celebration for his first ever international goal just a few days ago, and look at that one. The second of this tournament. And it's got the Malaysian fans really celebrating in the stands. And there was a goal coming, just felt it. The way this has opened up, and it could be another chance here, Ezra Walian. They just seem to switch off a little bit there, Malaysia. Always a bit vulnerable, aren't you, after you score?
Yeah, wonderful response from Indonesia. Again, it's Witan Sulaiman dropping into these areas. It's what I spoke about at the start of this match. They're going to have to keep an eye on him because he's got that freedom to just drop in behind Malaysia's midfield. It's in those areas.
This time, he does grab hold of the ball and gets to distribute quickly. Karufami was part of the U10 side, the only player left that has won the AFF Cup. Look at Arif Ayman. He's giving a bit of a torrid time, isn't he? Punch clear by Nadio. He's still alive, here's Safawi. Haven't said his name yet in this match. And he's been one of the outstanding players.
Edison Fakrudin, as the most experienced defender in that back line, has got to have a word with his younger teammates here. You got a 19-year-old at left back. You got a 20-year-old in Alfie Andra alongside him. He's got to be talking to them, making sure they're organized. And guys, yes, don't get carried away. We want to go and attack. We need to get the goal now. As we see with this table here, Malaysia having taken the lead, moving up to second in the standings in Group B. That means Malaysia are going through.
Yep.
As it stands. Indonesia are the ones who need to chase this. But we don't want to let the game, and I'm speaking from Fakrudin's point of view, him saying we don't want to let the game run away from us. There's plenty of time still. Settle down, let's make sure.
Remember how calm they were and how disciplined they were, Roshan, against Vietnam.
Yeah.
Very, very different sort of game, of course. As they come forward here, with just a bit of a heavy touch from him. Look at that. Ramai went in hard. It's a booking. Ghazali has rolled around a bit there. Did look a pretty late challenge.
Yeah, you'd think. Was well late into that one. That is a nasty one. And he's in a world of pain here, Rizal. And I'm wondering if he, because it's a standing leg, he looked at the impact, he looked at the angle in which Ruma came smashing into him. There's always a concern there with the knee ligaments. And Tan Cheng Ho in his standard outfit, his trademark white shirt, black pants, folded up sleeves.
Had a good chat with him.
Oh, have a look at this goal again. I mean, Kogileswaran, his anticipation of where the ball could potentially drop for him to have a shot at goal, but still the technique to execute from range like that. And he doesn't drive through it, he kind of actually side foots it, wraps his foot around the ball, gets enough of that curve to beat Nadeo, guiding it towards the far post.
Also, we saw Irfan's clearance there. He wasn't under any particular pressure, was he? When he passed that ball, when he tried to clear it, it went into the path of Kogileswaran Raj. Seemed a little panicky in the build up to that goal. Oh, look at that. A little tug down. Irfan, referee, has let that play on. Shami just tugged on Irfan, but he's got so much pace about him.
Yeah, I tell you what that tug on Irfan just did. He slowed it down a little bit, forced him wider, so running directly in behind that defense, and gave Majol an opportunity to come across and help out Shami.
Well, here, Young's reaction.
Yeah, and all he's asking is why. I said he's asking why. Give me a reason why. Why didn't you give that? What's happening? Why?
A little bit more than why, but yes.
Well, I can't really say more than the why, can I?
That's true.
On air. I'll let you know exactly what he said at halftime.
You can tell me at halftime what you thought of that.
Yeah. Once we've got the mics off.
60% also possession with Malaysia. Shin Tae-yong is he's not a quiet man. It was very interesting to watch him and Park Hang-seo the other day. It was very entertaining, the two of them. They were having a real go at each other, the two Koreans.
Yeah, no issues with the language as well.
And there's Korean officials that day. As we see Faisal Halim come forward. Alfredo Dewanga clears. Junior Elstar, will he be under a bit of pressure here? Shani Safari gets it away up to Kogileswaran Raj. It's just a little frustration coursing through this Indonesian team that things are not going their way.
Yeah, at times I think a little bit over enthusiastic in certain challenges. Perhaps they could just afford to slow it down a little bit, be a bit more patient in certain situations. This is a danger man for Malaysia. That's really good defending by us now. We can hang on to the ball here.
It's interesting, isn't it, Russia?
Done very well.
So much of so much of the best stuff, excuse me, from Malaysia's come down the left-hand side today. And we've barely mentioned Safawi tonight.
Yeah, and you know, with Safawi as well, what's interesting for me is he's one of the leading scorers in the competition. Joint top scorer, I think, with 4 goals. But he hasn't had the best of seasons domestically.
Correct.
He didn't have the best of seasons domestically. It was Arif Aiman who stole the show in Malaysia on a domestic front this season.
Lovely ball towards Irfan. Looking up for targets. Irfan to the top box. Rumai, I should say. Just couldn't get the ball from his feet. That's given away. Ahmad Irianto, Witan Sulaiman. Sting taken out of that shot. I love the fact we're midway through this first half and it has not dropped.
I just kept quiet there. I was taking a moment to catch a breath.
It is one of those games, isn't it? Reminder, in that other game, at the moment, it is 1-0 to Vietnam. They were overwhelming favourites for that one anyway. Good perseverance by Kogliswar and Raj. Look at the key man left.
Is back from Alpha. What?
Are you a fan of this whole evil theory?
They even themselves out.
Yeah. That doesn't help with the fans, does it? They get the penalty, don't they?
He didn't give a penalty or even a free kick. Easy, just to give it as a penalty.
Here's Irfan. Lofted into the box. Ezra Walian got a little bit of contact on it. And they get clear through Dio Cools. Oh, lovely turn from Pratama. Still Pratama. Well over in the end.
His throw-ins are phenomenal.
He only used it a couple times in the last few matches. It just creates problems, doesn't it?
It could turn away from Kogileswaran here. Pratama. It's good energy, really good energy in Indonesia's play early on. Yeah, Safawi driving past Alfiandra, and again, look. Is that one of the ball boys actually appealing for a Malaysian penalty?
Certainly made
There's
his
a ball
feelings
boy
known.
there, acting as one of the 5th or 6th officials that they've got these days if they don't have VAR.
That's what he thought about the decision.
Gripping contest, even the ball boys are getting involved.
Oh, there is a bit of shaky defending. It's done well. Safawi's come onto this. Arif, excuse me. Arif again. Voted MVP this season in the Malaysian League. Best striker as well, most promising player. And he was still not picked for the Malaysian side originally.
Yeah, I mean, I think this Malaysian squad, when the selection was announced, there were a few question marks. There were a few discussions on social media amongst the Malaysian fans about why certain players were left out. But and I spoke to Junior Elstal recently and asked him what that was like, and he said, you know, it's an opportunity for the team to get together and show our doubters that we can do this for the country. We can progress, and if they do, they'll shut a lot of their critics up.
Absolutely.
And that can always give you that motivation, be that driving force for you to achieve something. excellent play from Arif Aiman. Wonderful awareness of the situation there. Quick touch on, away, fighting the challenge.
I think they've taken pains, Roshan, to at least have the show of unity in the Malaysian side. There's been a lot of speculation as to problems within the squad, and of course it doesn't help when a player reacts and throws a bottle into the ground and then another one makes a comment afterwards. But Tan Cheng Ho, he says he's only interested in picking the best players, the players that suit what he wants to do. We respect that. And similarly, Shin Tae-yong was asked why not bringing Ilya Spasojevic, who's got more goals than all the 4 strikers he's got in the current squad. He says he doesn't fit my system.
Yeah. Well, to touch on your first point about Tan Cheng Ho and the Malaysian squad, you know, there are always things in football that we know happen behind the scenes that we can't necessarily address in the public space, in the public sphere. But he's selected a side that he feels can do the job, and it's up to the players to then respond to that. And there have been so many issues that they've come in here. They've been criticised for only selecting, 24 players?
Yes.
And then they were struck with a few COVID situations. They had injury concerns.
I can tell you, as we saw what looked to be a foul on Ramai, that Vietnam have got a second goal. Now the referee gives a free kick to Indonesia for the foul on Pratama by Kokuswan Raj, and yeah, Vietnam looking pretty good. It's Tien Lin with his second of the match.
And as for Shin Tae-yong, I think when you're a coach that's coming, first of all, they've done an incredible job getting a manager, a head coach like Shin Tae-yong to come in. Incredible experience. As Tan Cheng Ho just directs traffic a little bit. He wants Malaysia to set themselves up a little bit higher here in this throw-in situation, try and force a turnover so they can transition quickly. Guy who's won the AFC Champions League, someone who's been a head coach at the World Cup, he's beaten Germany. And, you know, he's selected a young squad. And when you select a young team, they're kind of easier to mold in sort of your image, in the way that you want to play.
Get them young, right?
Get them young and try and impart your values, your style, your tactics. And young players, they have a desire to improve and a desire to make a name for themselves, and they want to listen to you. Whereas sometimes with certain experienced players, they want to protect their position. They can be a little bit reluctant to sort of take too much on board, take on instructions. If they don't quite see how you can sort of help them improve, then they might just reject your suggestions in those situations. So ultimately, whatever squad you pick, it's up to you as the head coach.
Yeah.
If you can get the best out of them, if they can produce results, then you're seen as a success. And from what we're seeing from Indonesia at the moment, it looks good. I know they're losing this game. I know as it stands, they're headed out of the Suzuki Cup.
Yeah.
But this is an incredibly young squad.
Absolutely.
Very young side.
Here's Pratama again. His useful weapon. Reminds me of a teammate of mine who used to do that, and it was also something that just players always seem to struggle with. Was why is that? Why do they struggle with a throw that's? I guess it has to be flat and fast, right? To just cause those sort of issues.
Well, first of all, I want to find out who this teammate of yours is. What level this is you're talking about?
No, this is very, very. There's nothing like your level, Richard. Very, very social.
But yes,
he's actually watching this right now.
But yes, you look, the delivery is important. You're absolutely right to mention it's got to be flat.
Well, have a look.
It's like a driven pass. This is just incredible technique and distance, and obviously, again, as I say that.
Not the best, but here's Irfan.
You remember, I don't know if Laos technical director Visun Ramuti is watching this, but
yes, he used to.
He used to love a long throw-in when he was in charge of the Singapore national side.
Madu Mohana used to do that quite a bit. And see, what's interesting is he's employing it more than he has in any other match we've seen so far, Pratama. But it's clearly something that they feel will make Malaysia susceptible. Oh, look at that, right arrowed in at Ezra Walia.
It's incredible. You know who it kind of reminds me of is Ali Reza Berenvan, the Iranian goalkeeper, who basically launches it out with his arms, and he's got these.
Yeah.
I think he holds a world record for
Distance, is he?
longest throw out.
10 points for Vietnam as it stands. Malaysia on 9, and that means those two sides would go through, and it would be Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand in the semi-finals. Malaysia, Thailand, of course, would be a repeat of the 2018 semi-finals, which ended in very, very dramatic circumstances when Sak missed a penalty right at the end of the match to put Thailand through. Taken quickly. Away by Cools. Down the line to Shafiq. Lots of discussions at the moment around the dugout there for Indonesia. Asnawi just trying to play that down the line, looking for Kambuaya. Moment for a breather. They're not going for Pratama, are they? Not this time.
Got to give those arms a rest.
Exactly. He had about 3 in succession, didn't he? Well, that's given away by Rahmat Irianto.
He looks tiny as well.
Oh, what a ball that is. The keeper is caught out there. Oh, that is just wide. Nadio. And advanced. Shafiq.
Big chance for Malaysia to extend the lead. And Nadio off his line here. He shouldn't. Not Nadio. Wider away from the goal, it's too far out. He doesn't need to come out and leave his goal open and exposed. He had Fakhruddin there as well, covering that goal side angle. Fortunate for Indonesia that Shafiq just wasn't able to provide the finish in that situation.
Reminder, of course, that Nadio wasn't even supposed to be playing necessarily in this match because he only came in for the Vietnam game when Armando was hurt in the warm-up. But here come Indonesia again. Irfan. Good work by Faisal Halim. Is he through here? Witan Sulaiman. Squared it. Brilliant! Indonesia right back in there. Through Irfan.
Oh, they've deserved it. They've responded really well. And how big is that miss from Shafiq now? Indonesia have equalized. Wonderful move. Look at that, they're patient in possession, they pass it around, they wait for the right opportunity to arrive. Pick it up in midfield, he's onside. That's a wonderful run from Witan Sulaiman, looking right across that defensive line. He's aware of his position, he makes absolutely sure, keep himself onside. I mean, this pass and this leave from Rahmat, the first pass from Rahmat and dummy from Ricardo Kambuaya. And then the finish in the end from Irfan Jaya. Look at how many players they had in those advanced positions.
It is amazing how the noise has shifted from one side of the stadium to the other. And now it's the red half who are loving it. Nine minutes left, Roshan. I don't want this to end, I have to say.
Look, this
has been the best game for me so far.
brilliant. Wonderful. I mean,
everything about it, right?
I know I'm being hyperbolic a little bit. Excuse me that.
Yeah.
Forgive me for that, but I can't help myself. It's a credit to these two teams, the kind of football that they're playing at the moment. It's wonderful to watch, and the fans here have been just incredible as well.
Certainly play their part in what has been an absorbing contest, and this is the danger man, Ezra Walian. He was offside. We saw that a mile away, didn't we? We saw that about a second or two earlier.
Yeah, I had my imaginary flag up here in the commentary position already. I think the assistant referee.
So it's well done there, isn't it?
Well done from Junior. And he just leaves him. You know, and it was coming in from into the stadium from the MRT. Well,
We'll just come back to that because here comes Rama Rumakek. He's still going. Oh dear. Now, what's surprising is he's not one of those speedy winger types that has no end product, because we saw him score a beautiful goal in the very first game.
Well, Rizal Ghazali, I mean, it just doesn't know how to deal with that pressure because Ramai Rumakek has been so persistent and so
quick. I mean, he gets his shot completely wrong. You can see he makes the wrong sort of connection on that. But he doesn't give you a moment to breathe. You want time on the ball, you're not going to have it when he's around.
Also, I'm a bit disappointed, I've got to say, in you. I'm still waiting for the hyperbole.
Which one? I've got like a library of them.
One more to come in a minute. Here's the corner. You were gonna talk about the match in general, the atmosphere.
Just the atmosphere around the stadium. You know, coming in, I was making my way in, and you had Malaysian fans and Indonesian fans outside the stadium, and you know, they were already singing and chanting outside, gathering, you know, in those situations, already creating that
sea of colour,
energy and that vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and this is a game that in normal circumstances you would have full house, and this is a game that absolutely deserves that. Okay, the situation as it is doesn't allow for it, but the fans that are here are making themselves heard.
Yeah, it was a great decision, wasn't it, to put this game here at the National Stadium.
Yeah.
Having said that, you've already mentioned it earlier, the Vietnamese fans are brilliant as well. The Thai fans as well have made their presence felt. We've had Singapore here, they've had good crowds come in. It's been a great, and you know, against the backdrop of a pandemic, I think people have also been absolutely pent up to watch this kind of football, Roshan.
It's been wonderful. The fact that people can come together and celebrate football together, and you know, there's not been any sort of issues.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, there's rivalry. I'll come back to it.
Scored again, away by Cools, but Julie Elstal tries to slide it away. Here's Pratama. Straight back the keeper, Karol Fami. Well, I just had to relook at our stats here because Indonesia have had 11 shots. Malaysia have had 2.
Yeah, and I count the...
Well, this thing swings back and forth. As of now, Vietnam are through. Indonesia are second. Now remember, if Indonesia get another goal, it'll be interesting to see what happens. That equation changes again. I'm sad to say there's 4.5 minutes left of this first half in a game that has absolutely lived up to its billing. Junior Elstal. Here's Shami Safari. Now Arif Ayman. But a little bit quiet, Arif. Irfan. He's been absolutely everywhere, hasn't he, Irfan?
But I don't know, they've all been everywhere. in a good way. I mean, you know, it's not like they're running around like headless chickens. Look at that. I mean, Witan Sulaiman pressing there, trying to take the ball off Faisal. He gets a bit of help from Badrol. They're running non-stop here. Look at that. Ricky Kambuaya now leading the charge, leading the press. On his own.
Oh, he's done well there, really well. Ricky Kambuaya. Shin Tae-yong obviously felt that that was Indonesia throw-in. It's a bit calmer now. Oh, well, actually, as soon as I said that, you're not seeing off camera. He just went a little...
I think he was shouting at Asnawi.
I think it was Asnawi, wasn't he?
Yeah. Wanted him to rip the ball out of the hands of the Malaysian player. Get on with it.
Here comes Pratama. Still Pratama. He's ridden the challenge. Pratama. He's still going, Pratama. Can they finish this? Yes, they can! It's number 2 for Irfan and Indonesia.
Wonderful work again. Wonderful work. 19 years of age, Pratama. Look at this driving run. Straight through the heart of that Malaysian defense. Yes, they get a little bit fortunate, a couple of deflections going their way. But they've been at it since conceding. The response has been incredible. You know, we've been talking about mentality a lot. Yesterday we mentioned it with Singapore going a goal down to Thailand and then seemingly falling flat. We said, where was that mental response? We've seen it from Indonesia here, go a goal down. And they've said, okay, let's go again. We pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and we'll show you what kind of quality we've got.
The build-up to that goal, he's now got his third. Rizal Ghazali was just, it couldn't stop Pratama, could he? He's had a bit of a torrid time on that side, hasn't he?
It's so difficult for defenders at times when you've got confident players picking the ball up and just driving at you.
And I know you love a bit of cynicism. And you know where I'm going to go with this.
Oh, don't bring it up. Come on, we don't want to encourage that sort of play.
So that's a no, we shouldn't have?
Listen, the professional in me, or the ex-professional in me, says definitely someone should have taken him down.
Yeah.
But it's not something I want to encourage because otherwise, you know, we don't see that beautiful side of the game.
Yeah, we want to see that goal. Absolutely. Here is Irfan looking for a hat-trick in this game. As he crosses for Ezra Walian. They are not done yet. The Indonesians, they want a goal or two more. And now on equal points with Vietnam, but ahead. We'll get the statisticians on that one for you to show you how it stands.
You know, I think the level on goal difference, if I'm not mistaken,
Which means that Indonesia go through having scored more. But listen, maths never our strong suit, Roshan. As we see the corner, deep one. Carol Foley. Well, they can't clear the lines here. There looked to be a foul in the box. Indeed. The foul.
Great delivery from the corner here as well. Onto Fakruddin. The far post. Yeah, don't ask me about mathematics, Shazad. I mean,
I think
I just barely passed it.
yeah, not one of my favourite subjects, I have to say.
at O levels, and it's the reason why I'm sat here with you.
Yes. This is Ramai. Now Irfan. Witan. Indonesia also probably don't want things to end at the moment. The momentum that they've got.
Yeah, they've dominated this half. I mean, aside from Bogaleswaran getting a wonderful goal and big chance for Shafiq Ahmad. He couldn't convert. It's really been Indonesia.
So from my rudimentary maths, they're both on +7. Here's Ezra Walian. Gets up and tries to get up quickly. Goal difference is the same, but Indonesia have scored far more goals than Vietnam. So as of now, I make it that they are top of the group. Safawi is clutching his shoulder.
He looks to be in trouble here, Safawi. Alfiandra actually gets to the ball first. Safawi falls over him.
Yeah, that looks not very pleasant, I have to say. And the referee has called time on this first half, but not only are Malaysia down, Roshan, but they could be missing their star player in the second half. Who knows?
Doesn't look good, does it, for Malaysia? I mean, Safawi has been a threat in counter-attacking situations when they've been able to play the ball into into him for space to try and exploit him behind this Indonesian defense.
Well,
Look at that team spirit. Look at that team spirit.
absolutely brilliant. And sum up, if you can, your thoughts on that brilliant first half.
Wonderful first half of football. Both these sides, strong challenges coming in, fair challenges coming in. We've had a few things that have been let go by the referee. Indonesia, after conceding that goal, have responded brilliantly. And I think going to the break, deservedly in the lead. I mean, the fact that when you look at some of the stats here, 15 shots in total, 5 outside.